You're a few months into the job.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going?
You know, it's going great. And I will say that truly because of the people. I mean, the people in Mount Pleasant, our alums, the people around the state. I mean, there's a real passion for the Chippewas, and it's something you feel. And I got to tell you, the support we have from our administration, from the president on down, it's made it a lot of fun. And, you know, that's really what it should be. It should be a lot of fun.
You've coached at a lot of different levels.
Yeah.
And I know you've been through the car ride recruiting trips before, and you've been on the private jet recruiting trips.
Yeah.
How difficult is that transition going back to that?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, the private plane thing, it makes getting from point A to point B pretty easy. Mm-hmm. But there's something cleansing about being with your guys, you know, in a car, being able to get, you know, hey, we've got to get here, we've got to go, we've got to get through this snowstorm, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you know, shoot, I grew up in Montana. I get it. I mean, the snow here might be colder here. Yeah. But at the same time, it's been. I look at it again. It's the people, the people you're with, the people you're working with, and the people you're working for, and it's been great.
How much does it help you to step into a living room when these kids know that here's a guy who's coached in the SEC? You know, last year you're in the Big Ten.
Yeah. You know, whether it helps, I guess it might open the door a little bit for you, but the reception in those homes is what's been great. And that's really the fun part. You know, the one thing in having coached in the National Football League, it was a great experience, but you kind of miss that, you know, interaction with those kids and being able to watch them grow to be men, you know, and that's the one thing that's great about our place is giving guys an opportunity that might have been overlooked and give them an opportunity to come play Division I football at a place that their parents can come see them. It's a lot of fun.
Is it a little different, though? I mean, trying to identify the right guys for your program. I mean, you've been going after those 4- and 5-star guys, and can you bring them to Central, or do you got to go after the guys that have been overlooked and maybe have that chip on their shoulder?
Well, there's kind of two parts to that. You know, there's going to be some of those 4- and 5-star guys that we can get in the game with, and you know what? You never know what they're looking for from an atmosphere standpoint. You know, a lot of places have fancy weight rooms and all this kind of stuff, and yet at the end of the day, it's about the people. And, you know, we can get them on our campus and meet our people, know what we can do to help them grow. We'll do that. And then you've got to be good evaluators, and really you've got to be able to kind of look down the road a little bit. You don't get the ready-made guy, but you've got to be able to now go ahead and produce those guys or show those guys how they can be better, and that's really a great challenge.
How much are you showing them the wall with the Antonio Browns, the Joe Staleys, and all the guys that have done really well?
Lots of them. You know, when you talk about Central Michigan University football, you think about the history and the great players who have gone on and been first-round draft choices, right? Been all-pros. Guys that have made it in the league for many years, but more than that, it's about the championships. I mean, all the way back, as you look when they were a Division I AA school, you know, winning national titles with Coach Duromedy, Coach Kramer, you know, that kind. And then as it's moved forward, you know, the history of MAC championships. I think it's something that makes it a special place.
Now, there's a reason they made a coaching change, and this team really struggled last year. How quickly can you turn this thing around?
Well, I don't know. I told the president we'd double the win total. No, you know, I mean, here's the one thing. I know I don't have a lot of patience from the standpoint of, you know, our record has been everywhere we've been. We've been able to, you know, go kind of get some things done and get it done in a hurry. But that only happens if you have the support of the people behind you. And we've got that support in our administration. And, you know, I don't anticipate us, you know. So I told our guys, look, we're not here to just get a little bit better. We're here to get a lot better.
I know going through the recruiting process, you know, I've been to the coaches' homes.
Sure.
You living in a barn now?
Yeah, living in a barn. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I'm not sure it does. You know, I can remember when my mom a long time ago used to say, you know, when I wouldn't shut the door, you know, were you born in a barn? Now I can tell her at least I live in one.
How does that play with some of the recruits you brought in?
Well, You know, one of the things that we do, I think, a really good job of is you know, it's interesting. You mentioned that we go into homes of players, and yet you bring them to your campus. I think it's important that we bring them into our homes, and this gives us an opportunity to have a space. Right. Now, I'm not going to feed them hay, right? but at the same time, we'll have a great opportunity to show a place that, you know, is unique, and yet a place that they can call home, and that's really important to us.
I know you got. Let's talk about Khalil Pimpleton. He's a kid who was just.
I love to talk about that guy.
Yeah, standout player in high school here, and he's transferred from Virginia Tech. What does he bring to this team?
Well, the first thing he brings is the guy you want to be with every single day. His energy, his personality, his smile. You know, if I'm having a bad day, I'm calling him to come into my office because I'm going to feel better automatically. And one of the things we've been really pushing with our guys is really how do you affect the people around you in a positive way? And he's one of those guys that I look to be a true team leader. A guy that's going to have to touch the ball a lot for us to be successful, and you know, he's a wonderful guy to be around.
Other than Khalil, who are some of the guys that really stood out in spring ball for you?
Well, you know, I'm not one of those coaches that does that. It's about the team. We have a team at Chippewas that are learning that it's not an independent sport, that the only way they can be successful is if the people around them are invested. And that's what we're trying to do right now. And together, you know, that's how we're going to bring this thing as one. You know, we've got some real talented guys that time will tell, and I expect big things out of them. And yet, the only big things that are going to happen is if the people around them and they're all doing it together, and that's what we're pushing. What
was your biggest takeaway from spring ball? Your first chance to really get on the field with these kids?
How appreciative these guys are, and how disappointed they were possibly with the finish a year ago, and how excited they are to try to put that in the past.
What motivates you most? Are you motivated by maybe some of the things that didn't work out in the past? Are you just motivated by seeing a kid improve each day? What is it that really kind of stokes you to come to the office each day?
Well, I mean, I've had an unbelievable run and won a bunch of games and championships and all that kind of stuff, and yet when it all boils down to it, the reason you get into this is because of the players, because of the kids. And this is a fun group of guys to be around. And I just look forward to being a part of their life and helping them have a better life.